Oh, Steven is there. Hi, Steven. You are a professor at
Hi,
University. Where was it? Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. That's right. Wonderful. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, Blake, are you like ready to go, or shall we?
Ready? Yeah, as ready as I can be. I haven't tried doing this over Zoom yet, so we can see how that goes.
Okay, okay.
Um,
You can share your screen. Steven, Blake and Nolan are both users, former students. Blake is a former ICIT UCI. Nolan is a current ICIT UCI. So they have incredibly, I mean, Nolan, I know he has incredibly funny things to share. Okay, Blake, go ahead. Take it away.
right.
Are you still running on a Windows computer?
No, I've been converted.
You convert.
I got a computer. Yeah, I got a computer when I got the job here, and I was like, all
Okay.
right, well, if they're gonna give me like, a good amount of money, I might as well just get a Mac
That's
and live it
right.
up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, just
uh,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
suck up their
So let's
blood.
see.
That's right. Okay.
Uh, I'm on like a wide screen, so I might try to just scooch
It's
everything
okay.
in a little bit,
Yeah.
or we'll just go with that.
Yeah. All right. So,
And let's see if I'm still getting audio.
mhm. Ever since I got a job at UCI 2017, I every year I have this grad seminar called Composing for Sensors. And then at the end of the year, I organize a festival called Listen to the Motion Festival. And Blake has been on that um, every year. And I even dragged him to Iceland or something, didn't I? Yeah, okay.
Because I could stop sharing for a moment. Yeah, yeah. I went to Iceland with the Music for Strings Festival,
That's right.
which was a
Yeah.
great experience. So
Oh,
highly recommended
yeah.
for everyone out there. All right, so let's
Um,
see.
okay.
Okay,
For a
so I will
second,
sh
I saw your screen. Here
yes.
you go. All
I'm
right. Oh my
sharing.
goodness. Okay.
So and we'll see how the mic switch works. So hopefully this will switch over at
Oh,
some
you're
point.
gonna do it live. I thought you were just
I
gonna say
am. Yeah,
like
no, I figured out how
meeting.
to connect everything to my
Oh, good for
my
you.
network. And
Excellent.
I've adapted I'm not using the sort of multi-music patch yet because I
Right.
had a bunch of sends and receives and everything. So I was like, I'm
Got
just
it.
gonna convert
Of
the
course.
original patch and just make a copy
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, that's okay.
Um, but so yeah, as Mari said, hi, I'm Blake Carson Lane. I'm currently a assistant professor of teaching at the University of or not at Oregon State University.
Oregon
Um,
State University.
and I think what I was going to show today is just sort of as with being relatively new to this position and it being a teaching position, I don't have a lot of time for creative activity outside of just making stuff for my classes. Um, so our program is like somewhat of an industry focused program in that a lot of the students are coming in very interested in um, sort of, recording engineering and live sound production and things. And both myself and Dr. Jason Fick, who's the person who started the program here, come from, experimental electronic music backgrounds and classical backgrounds. So we try to sneak in, interactive technology and things like that. Um, basically, I made a patch that used the music to essentially vo do a vocal harmonizer. So if you're familiar, like um, and sort of set it up to harmonize Bon Iver's song "Creaks," if anyone's familiar with it. So it's one of sort of these relatively popular. There's Imogen Heap has the hide and seek. This is one of those songs as well. So basically tying the hand position of the music to probably see it, but just essentially to various harmonies of the vocal. So I believe if I mute myself here, is that there we go. Quiet, but there. Okay.
quiet but I'm audible. Yes. Okay. Is this better? That should be a little better.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Good.
cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, back into the patch, you can kind of hear. I've loaded in a couple of VST plugins, essentially auto tune with the retune here, and then there are just feeding that into various um, vocal harmonizers. And so, if we do this correctly, I feel like I could do it louder. So you see how prepared I am for this.
Are you moving your hands?
Let's see, is that's better? Okay. Yeah, so essentially, this was built with one MUGIC, or initially before I got my second one. So this vertical controls. So there's alone. This brings in a sort of like low and other harmony. And then there's that harmony there. And then there's a sort of more tertiary extend there. It looks like the bass isn't working, but for the sake of time, we'll just deal with that. So basically, it just allows you to bring in certain harmonies. So if I just do the first verse of the song, down along the creek, I remember something. Her the heron hurried away when first I preached that last Sunday. Low moon down the yellow road, I remember something. That leaf wasn't easy, all that heaving in my veins. And it's certain it is evening, it is now, is not the time. Ooh. So basically, attempting to kind of draw industry students into this world a little bit by showing one max to the sensors with a very sort of portable setup. I wanted this to be so I didn't have to bring really any instruments or anything, just a mic interface and the sensors. So yeah, I won't take up any more time. If there's any questions or anything.
This is wonderful. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay. Well, you've done it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Oh, I
Can
can stop sharing. Yeah.
yeah, sure. Okay. All right. Well, yay. Good going. Nolan, let's keep moving. Are you ready to go? You don't have to do anything,
Sure.
live like that, but just tell us what's going on with you.
Yeah, I know Super Collider is a bit finicky with Zoom, so I can like show things, but maybe I won't send any audio to Zoom today, if that's okay.
Of course.
Um, but yeah, that was really amazing also. I
Yeah.
really, yeah, the auto tune is like phenomenal. Mine won't be nearly that polished, but basically, hi, I'm Nolan. I'm really interested in making game environments for people to make music with, specifically to get people playing together in musical contexts who may not have the same or any musical background. And I think of play as a very good way to do that because people are kind of scared sometimes to enter these environments. And I think play is a way to suspend consequences for people, which is kind of fun. The upshot is that I've been making very silly little toys every week for Mari's class. And one of the things that was been a challenge is that I use Super Collider and not Max. And I came into the class and I was like, maybe I should learn Max because like the music has all these patches and kind of presets and the packages with the Max plugins and stuff like that. And I asked Mari, and she's like, "Try to use Super Collider." So I'm doing that. Um, and what happens is that I had to basically write a lot of the functionality from scratch. So, for example, I don't know if people are interested in seeing code or anything like that. Um, it's not like particularly nice to look at, but I can share something. So, sorry, this may not be super legible.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So one thing that I did for the MUGIC in Super Collider is make my own jolt function. And basically, if anybody um, happens to know any Super Collider, all I'm doing is really just I kind of have these like um, sliding windows of just every time an OSC message is sent for any of the accelerometers, I have these two floats for the acceleration for the X, the acceleration for the Y, acceleration for the Z. And they're always just replacing the last OSC message received and sliding the previous one received back an index. So basically, every time you jolt, presumably at one instant of the OSC message, it's a low number, and at the next instant, it's a high number for the acceleration. So all this is doing is sliding over, and then whenever I take some absolute difference between the two, and I can set some threshold. For some reason, 15 seems to work really well for me. I don't know why. Um, I can send a jolt message. And where am I sending this message to? It's a good question. I use Unity for all of my game development. So Unity also has OSC, which is really nice. And so basically all of my visuals and interaction are done in Unity, and all of my sound generation and OSC processing is done in Super Collider. One interesting thing about this is that because Unity only receives messages 60 times a second, because Unity runs on a frame basis, so OSC is too fast for it, actually. So whenever I receive OSC from the MUGIC, I actually have to send it through Super Collider because Super Collider is much faster, and Unity only checks for things 60 times a second. This actually runs into some weird issues where there might be up to a 60th of a second of delay between when the thing is actually jolted and when Unity tracks it as jolted. And in very rare instances, if the jolt is really short and there's no like kind of refire of the pullback, Unity will miss the jolt entirely. But this hasn't really happened because when you jolt it, it tends to be a little bit longer than 60th of a second when you kind of go back and forth a little bit. All that's to say, Mari has posted a few of my toys on Instagram recently, and I'm happy to maybe if you want to share those, Mari, would that make sense?
Yeah, I can I can totally do that. Yeah,
Thank you.
so the duck one, the first, so everyone, I'm having sort of a viral moment, and it's like one post that got like 500,000 views, which for me it's viral. My son said, "Mom, that's not viral." So it's it's okay. So Nolan's post got even like, are you past like 16,000 at the moment?
I don't know. Actually, I haven't checked
Yeah.
recently.
Yes. Here you go. Sorry. So this is yeah, this is the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to see what's going on. So I can explain. Basically, I'm trying to sorry. I'm trying to make these two-player environments for people. And so in this environment, we have like some visual, and one person can jolt to change the visual, and one person can jolt to change the color. And so in some sense, people are kind of like DJing this environment or something like that. The problem is that if two people jolt at the same time, it locks, and then nobody can change anything, and you're kind of stuck. So this is like a really simple sort of just checking if the jolt timer has reset. I think I put it like 1 second. If people jolt within the same 1 second interval, then it
One
locks.
second. 1 second. Okay. Okay, let's begin. Okay. 1 second is pretty
Yeah.
generous. So, that's good. So this is yesterday's one, right? This I mean the Thursday one,
Yes,
the duck one. Okay,
exactly.
do you want to sort of give what's going on?
Sure. So I don't know. This one makes I think a little less sense. It's just kind of the idea that one person is kind of dropping paint onto like a pottery wheel or a spinning wheel of some kind, and the other person can kind of catch it in certain locations. And I wanted to do like a ketchup bottle sort of thing, but it ended up being like this blob with a tongue-like nozzle, and
Oh
it had to
gosh,
be
you're
like a
good
little
at
duck spitting on it.
spitting.
Yeah, so basically it only spits when you are kind of in this downward angle on the music. One of the issues that I'm having right now is precise detection of
Correct
or
angle
like
of spit.
this is kind of a fundamental issue for me, but it's just like getting the music to render exactly how it looks in real life in Unity. And people have made like Python packages for this or Python visualizers for this, and I think it's something that I personally have to go figure out for my system is kind of doing this quaternion Euler rotation mapping correctly because Unity has built-in quaternion Euler rotation stuff, but like I think I need to work on calibration as the last step before it actually gets the right rectangle to display.
Right.
So if anybody has any advice on doing that from scratch, I would love to hear it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically my spiel.
I get my mathematician husband on you on your case.
That would be
Um,
awesome.
is this Shanchi? You're doing this
Oh
duck?
gosh, you're good
I
at
think it's you, right?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh yeah, Xuanxi's
Yeah,
the master duck
Shanchi's the
spitter.
master duck speeder. Yes.
Pretty fun.
Yes. Yeah, so this is my PhD grad seminar. It's too much. We're having too much fun. Yeah, so I have several. So I was in those of you who are Facebook friends with me, I've been to Chamber Music America, and I had this is a do you know Ethel string quartet? Ethel? So this is a violinist from Ethel.
Wow, that's amazing.
So just a,
However did you think of this?
It's in the wrong one.
he's just playing with the patch that I was showing, and this is a Del Sol string quartet. Do you know Del Sol? So he's a martial artist. Anyway, so there are yeah. So Del Sol is now a user, a music user, and Ethel wanted to know how I can do this live, but it takes too much time. I want to get to the Abletons quickly, so I just show you my Instagram post. So they wanted to know if I can modulate the video speed. So this is a Godfather dancing scene. So I can slow down the video and audio at the same time with it. I'm using the steadiness control. And those of you who knows my subharmonics, I developed that technique very long time ago from a technique called the son filet, like very slow bowing. And turns out that I can measure that correct speed and I can get my subharmonics. So look at this. See, it says subharmonics, right? I can do it live, but I'm just gonna show this. Right? It's not a very nice sound, but anyway, so it's the same speed. So it does prove that I did develop from wait, so that's a son filet, that's a subharmonic. So that's a steady bowing. Right? So I'm getting more towards crazy violin technique training app. And of course, my husband is the first victim. But anyway, so that's what I'm. And Blake, I thought of you just now. This is a old video from 2013 from Atlantic Music Festival. Uh, she is now Lyra Pramek, now works for Ableton in Berlin, and she just got a new music. She's my first generation Atlantic Music Festival fellow, and did kind of a similar thing, but is using just wearing on the hand and changing the harmonization, but using this earcom object called Psychiatrist. It's a pitch synchronous harmonization. It's where did it go? This one, external Psychiatrist. So you can set the pitch, and then your process will get to that pitch, so it doesn't move with your harmony that you pitch shifted. I showed this to Laurie Anderson and she wanted it, so I gave her the patch, but she never used it, as usual. So anyway, so he's singing and changing the harmony with like a jolt movement. See, he's changing the pitch of his input, but the harmony stays the same, right? This is a beautiful object. It's like amazing, right? I think it's one of the most beautiful things that he did. He's he was at Oberlin in voice, I think, and now she works for Ableton. I'm just talking to him every day now because she just got a new music herself. Okay, so I was gonna show some stuff, but you know what? I'm gonna go directly to Ableton, I think, if that's okay. Anybody have any question to so far? Okay, so I've been up like quite a long time today, and updating the music set for Ableton. I don't know if you, Pete, you downloaded before. It's like an hour ago. I have a new one, but anyway, and I also have a few convenient things that people can use, and I'll show you right now. And I made it in the 11 because people with the 11 cannot open if I make it in 12, so that's what I was told. So anyway, it opens in both. Okay, so does it look like that, Pete? Because I just added a new feature because one of my students at UCI said she wanted to do a parameter max and minimum 2, so which means I'll just show you. Okay, so right now, oh, sorry, if this looks like so this whole thing right here, I put a yes, this instruction right there. I'm having a bit of a trouble having to have this set to there. Okay, so it's 4,000, and I have a sensor here. Can you see the sensor? I'm gonna unblur myself. Okay, can you see? Okay, so um, it turns like this, right? So you can see, yeah. So I have a I don't know if you can hear this. Can you hear that? So right now I have a clip trigger active, right? And then a good friend, Todd Reynolds at the Manhattan School, said he's a big Ableton user, and he said in the Ableton world there is a vocabulary called momentarily and toggle. So momentarily means I go like that, and toggle means it's on and off. So oops, momentarily toggle. So it'll be on and off. See, on and off, on off like that. So give the users the Ableton language, that would be good. Anyway, so I have a random, oops. So you can put the number of clips. I have 6 clips, and this would enable the randomness. It's kind of looking bad here, right? Or if you don't want a random, it just stays in one thing. So that's the clip trigger jolt. And here I also have a parameter on and off. So if I want to do that, then you can link live object. So let's say I want to turn off this track. So I'll choose this, and then, oops. Oh, wait, did I do that? Yeah, see, now it's on, off, like that. So you can do that. And I put the test there so you can actually test it to see it's working. So I think one of you wanted to know about the mapping. So these are the mapping things I do. It's in the documentation here. Okay, so new things that I did. So energy is like, when you're shaking or something like this. And I may, it's like getting bigger and bigger, trying to keep it small. There is a calibration for both jolt and energy, because it turns out when you do the jolt, and energy is quite different in terms of behavior. Like jolt wants to be like, immediately like that. But for energy, user, actually Todd, said he wanted to do a tremolo or something, and maybe control a reverb, but he doesn't want it to end right away. So he wanted to have sort of a tail to it. So, okay, well, I understand. So I made a calibration button here. So they have each have a different calibration. So this one is for the energy calibration, and this is damping release and damping onset, which means it turn on like that and turn off like that. Whoops, like this, right? So whereas the jolt calibration is immediate, quite immediate. I don't have a damping, right? So this way you can separate the behavior between jolt and energy. So let's try something. So here you can, adjust to your, no, look at the, I'm just shaking. I'm just going to turn this guy off. Okay, so here I'm just shaking, and you see right here, it's kind of fast, but you can kind of see where you're at, like 300-ish is the maximum. If that's what you want, then you do from 0 to 300. If it's 1000, it's going to be bigger than that. So it's really totally up to you. And then let's try to map this to, okay, aforementioned reverb, for example. I think it will help to have a sound file, right? So you can hear it. Oh, by the way, before I go on, an important thing, when you want to do jolt, this kind of a triggering, Todd Reynolds told me that you have to set your clip, like you have to go to the clip and then shift tab, I think, to the, clip, you click on the you click on the clip and then press shift tab and you get this a sample window, and here you go to this follow action, action, I guess, a second tab from the left, and you see here quantize, and this is set by default global. Okay, so you have to put this to none, otherwise it will try to sync to the tempo and it will be slow. So I can show you. So here, if I'm at global, see that it's waiting. Right. So if if you want to use the jolt like that, you have to see. So make sure that this is none. Unfortunately, I don't think you can set that. Maybe those Ableton masters, maybe you can make this a default, but just to make sure that you set it to none. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. All right. I'll turn you off. Okay, so what we're saying is to put some kind of a sound file in there. Let's just ask Monty to come here, and okay, so this is now being warped, so I'm gonna non-warp. I don't have to be anything, but I'm just gonna do that. And I've been trying to do something here. You can hear it, right? Okay. That's a Higbertus Monti's piano track. So now let's say I'm gonna put a reverb, right? Actually, I can just put it here so that you can see. Yeah, okay, let's just put it here. Can I? Oh. Okay. Okay, so now let's add a reverb over here. And yeah, it's unfortunately, this set is so big, but you can just, shrink it if you want to. Oh, by the way, as you see on the first track, I have MUGIC 1, a MUGIC port 4000, and I'm running 2 of them right now. So let's try that. So that right now this is not moving, but this is, because I have 2. I'm connected to my home internet via, I think I have a video how to do that, but both of them are in purple, blinking purple in client modes right now, right? So I'm just going to turn this off right now, and then here is my okay, so that's my second one. And yes, so here I go. So right, kind of annoying sound. Okay, so here we go, and let's say, what's the one that makes the reverb? Is it this one? This one, right? Okay. All right. Okay, so let's say I am going to this energy to the reverb, and the calibration is so that the damping release is pretty that means, see that curve? See, this is long, so if you want to make it even longer, let's say 10. See that? So there's a more slide to it. It's a slide object. By the way, if you're interested, it's all in here. Sorry for the here it's a slide object. Okay. Okay.
10 what is that, Marie? Is it measuring, or is it just like a scale that you've set?
This
Yeah,
This,
the 10. Well, you've changed it from 7 to 10.
oh,
What is that?
this is the slide. This is the damping release. So if you stop, it doesn't stop right away, but has a tail. And the
Yeah.
bigger the
So is the
number, the
scale like, is it just set from like 1 to 10 or?
no, you can make it to 30 if you want to. And it's gonna be
Right.
a
And is it
long
measuring
tail.
something like tenths of a second or what is it like?
You know, the slide object is a mysterious object. It doesn't tell you what they are. So
Okay.
it's really, you know, I asked him, it's like, I don't know. So here, so let's look. So right now it's 30.
Right.
If I make it to 0, it's gonna be, see how,
Okay. Yeah. So trial and error.
yeah, trial and error. I usually have it around 7, but if you want it longer, yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. Yeah, I better find out exactly what this is. Yeah, when I ask cycling something, I get like 4 paragraph answer. Okay, so so again, I'm gonna link this live object to the decay. What was it? This one, right? And then see, like that. So is that are clear to you? Yeah, Sivan.
If you want to limit the decay,
Yes, yes. Oh, you mean the decay that?
yeah, the whole
Yeah,
scale of decay, like
yeah.
let's say I want up to the middle point there.
You mean
The
oh yeah,
maximum,
yeah, yes.
yeah.
This is my new, oh, my new, my new device. So this all prem min max, I added them today, like several hours ago. So because a student wanted to actually do that. The problem about Ableton is I don't know what this is. Like usually it's from 0 to 1, but for pitch it's minus 24 to 24, and there's no way of knowing what the number is. So I made it's in the my folder, and also I put it in the set here so you can find it. Find parameter minimax. So I have a find. Oops.
But there is a mapping inside Ableton too, right? Like when you press MIDI.
Yeah, I don't know if that would work with this, right?
Yeah, and then if you press on the decay and look at the left window, if you scroll a little bit, we can see. Yeah, so this will be the MIDI mapping there on the left gray part.
Uh-huh. This?
Yeah. So normally,
Okay.
so if you assign each of these blue marks into any MIDI controller normally, then the mapping will appear there.
Mm.
So I don't know if that connects somehow.
Yeah, let's see if I do that. No. Oh, I already I already linked to it. Yeah, so you probably won't work. But I will investigate this because I don't actually know about me so much. But right now it's like this, right? So let's say you want to limit, as you said, my student wanted to, let's say I want to go from like 300 millisecond delay to only 3 second or something, not go to all the way to 60, right? So I found this find like, oh, was it find parameter max? So I made this little you know, easy to find this thing. So if you click that, okay, so it is 0 between 0 and 1, right? So I can do that. Yeah, so 0 and 1, so I have to let's see, 0.4 to 0.6 or something like this. Yeah, I had a better one here. Okay, here. So it doesn't go more than that, right? Yeah. So I did that for all of them. Speed, and also this. I'm gonna unlink this now. Or if you don't want to do it anymore, you can unlink it. So right now, this is the device that I use a lot, the steadiness. So let's map the steadiness to the reverb, and I'm going to, oh, so when I go to 3 seconds, it will go all the way to, no? Oh, did I not do that right? Okay, let's see. Link. Huh. Okay, well, this is not working. Great. Did I just?
Mari, in Max, the scale object is a very simple object which accomplishes this. I can't believe that there's not a equivalent built into Ableton. I have not used Ableton to kind of discover that, but it's such a ubiquitous kind of common app that you do convert these scales in Max just with one simple object. I can't believe that there's not something in Ableton that does that. So
Yeah, I'm using both ZMap and scale object. There's something wrong with this thing. Parameter is decay, time is 0 and 1. Yeah, something is wrong with this. Well, I have to fix it then. But anyway, so you can yeah, for example, I can just do, oops. For example, if I want to link to a track volume, for example, can I just do that? And then link to track volume, and it's not working, really? Okay. Oh well, so this is dead for some reason. Did I? Yeah. Well, you know what, guys? It's not working. Okay, so we'll see. My good old steadiness is not happy. Let's see. So if I want to do the yaw, okay, so I just did the yaw. Let's see, yaw there and there. Yeah, so this one is working, right? So let's say I want to go from 0 to like 12. I would say like 0 to 0.7 or something, and you won't go beyond that. See? So it doesn't kill you, right? So I did that. I have to fix this. Sorry about that. It was working before this morning, but anyway. Okay. Yeah, I kind of rushed through this thing. Yeah, so I got you that, and also those of you who build your own live objects, live devices. I'm sure you have something like this, but I have a sort of a quick way of finding the name of your path. So I can just get a live path, and then what is that? And then it will tell you what it is, right? So you can just copy paste it to use it. So, and I have observing current parameter like this. So you can also find it like that, right? So what was this? This one was get light path, and this one, okay, so I move that, and I don't, oh, because I have my sensor on, it's conflicting. Okay, I'm just gonna turn the sensor off. Okay, so I don't want the level to be more than that, which means that's like 0.56, right? So then I can say things like, I want this to be 0.56 here. And then let's turn this on. So see, it doesn't go beyond 0.56, right? Yeah. Okay. Is it, I know it's a little, still kind of hard to use, huh? Anyway, if you have any wishes and suggestions, I'm more than welcome. I'm not really able to programmer, so I'm doing my best. But yeah, so I put these devices for you so you can use it. But I'm sure if you do Max for Live programming, you don't need them. But these are useful for me. So you can just do that. And if you those of you who don't know much about the programming of Max for Live, I have a 4 lessons here in my intro. How to make your own live path live object. So I send my students over here. This is just to sort of understand how this is structured. When I first learned the word live object model, LOM, and I showed it to friends of mine who were coders, it's, oh my God, this is so well documented. I'm like, I don't understand anything. But anyway, so I kind of decoded for my students to get to build your own live path and live object, how that works. So yeah, so eventually that's what I use to make all that, this whole thing. Yeah. All right. Questions? Yes, Ivan.
So, can you explain a little bit about why do we need the find live path in this?
Yeah. So if you want to make your own like live devices, like Max for Live devices, you need to find out the path. What is this? Right? So for example, what I want to control that, but what is the path name? So you have to find out the path name. You can also do it in all kinds of different ways because there's an API list or something like this in here, but it's really hard to find. So I got really frustrated with that. Live API, look at this. There's a whole list of how do you find everything. It's all here. So if you have a patience to go through them and find what you need, then you don't need it. But I just need to do what I have to do. So I found there's this maxforlive.com or something, and I kind of borrowed that and I just made it my own stuff. So, but this way I can quickly find out what is it that I want to control, basically. So, okay, so what is that, right? So I'm going to find out what this is. And it says path live set tracks to 012. It's all always come from 012, right? So this is a track number 2, although it's a 3, right? So track 2 mixer device space track activator. So you send a 1 or 0, 1 or 0, and it can turn it on and off, right? 1 0. So that's what you need to do to make that. So if you want to start making your own Max for Light devices, you can just look at my how do I make my, I can't, okay, sorry, slide, yeah. So yeah, how
This
yeah,
wonderful
so
flow chart.
this wonderful flow chart is terrible. I think it's terrible. It's totally,
Some of them have seen it before.
Sorry. Anyway, so so I explain how to do like a cue point.
Okay, so now that the
in arrangement view.
Okay, so let's jump to first cue point 0. See, and
so this is the arrangement view, and you can jump from a cue point to cue point from Max for Live and trigger things like that. So I just put some very fundamental stuff that might be useful musically, because my goal is always not to really learn the program to everything, but just to use it so you can make music out of it. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, for example, the reason for this is that something like a resonator or something like this. Yeah. So I found out in the hard way that resonator, for example, have like pitch or something, and this minimax is minus 24 to 20. So you have to do that, if you want to add the range or something. So let's say minus 5 to 5 or something. And I'll link again live. Oh, which one was that? That one? I forget. Okay. And then see? So it's between 5 and minus 5 because I said so here. Right? Is that?
Yeah, thank you. So I now understand. It's like just to find out the values of
Yeah.
a
This
device.
is very much for myself, but I found it really useful. So I uploaded it.
Marie, can I ask a very
Yeah.
basic
Yeah.
question?
Yeah.
What messages? What are you sending out of the MUGIC? Are you sending MIDI messages, or are you sending OSC, or
Oh,
that kind of set up? What's
in,
it sending? Because that's why I think I'm getting a bit confused.
inside the Ableton or inside Ableton?
I guess, yeah, in this particular instance, what are you sending?
That energy is actually accelerometer, XYZ
Yeah.
accelerometer. Yeah. So
And
if
what?
you,
Yeah.
yeah, so here, music is coming in and see, oh my gosh. Yeah, so this is like first three are XYZ accelerometer. So that's what I'm sending for the energy.
Great.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, it's a lot more granular than like MIDI message.
I'm sorry?
It's a lot more granular than like a
Yeah. No, I mean, it's very it's a little too precise. In fact, I was talking to somebody. So the sensor is a 20 millisecond delay, which is way too fast for human hands. That's why all the, smoothing and sliding object that you need to make it dumber, some less jittery. Because if you just use it exactly the way it's coming in, the data is just too much to. I think Nolan, you're finding that out, right? So, yeah, well, it's not a problem because he's right there. But my husband is in financial technology, and 20 milliseconds, somebody's gonna lose like $30 million, right? So it's like 20 milliseconds is too slow. But for human hands, it's way too fast. So, but sometimes it's very useful because something like a jolt, you really want it to be right away, right? So, right. So that really works for having a very precise precision sensor like this. Shanchi, you are the my in-house Ableton master. Do you have any question?
I think it's pretty awesome to see what Harrison's did. I'm just so surprised by that. I don't have question for now, but
Okay, so you might want to help me with the what Sivan said about the MIDI mapping because I don't know anything about that. Do you do a MIDI mapping?
Sivan, could you repeat your question?
Or it was not a question. Sivan said we can probably use the MIDI mapping thing, this MIDI, the purple thingy. But I have not used that for music, so.
I think it's only related if you go to MIDI input and outputs and define the music as a MIDI controller, if it's even possible, I don't know.
Yeah.
Then it will connect it to this.
I see. So I don't have to do any of this except that there's so many things, right? Your pitch and roll and all those
I
things.
think this is great to have like that because it's very clear.
Okay, well, if you say so. Yeah.
I think as long as it works.
Yeah, exactly. It's so DIY, at the moment, but as long as it works. So somebody can come in and make a great pack or something, that'll be great. Yeah.
By the way, does the find live path and the find parameter Are they included in the package, or this
Yeah, I
is
put it in there. I put it
okay?
in there. Yeah, it should be
Okay.
there because I
Mhm.
saved it as
I
with
see.
the two of them. But in case it doesn't show up, it's in here, so you can use it. Okay. All right. Pete, are you sufficiently set up for this? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's a lot of work, but it's fun. I
Thank you
like to
for
use
showing us
them.
through it.
What?
Thank you for showing us through it. I look
Oh,
forward
of
to
course, of course.
trying it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm not a Ableton user, so values like these are stored. This is the live number, and it's not the max number. Max number doesn't store unless you script it, but these live values are stored once you save your set, I think. So that's why oh, by the way, this port thing, those of you who had more than one, I had to set this for the Lincoln Center. Remember, I had a 50 Lincoln Center people. So, and the person who was organizing didn't like the 4,000. He wanted to use a 4,100. So, I had to set it the base to 400 and then music number one, music number two. So, everybody has a different port number and things like that. That's why this is there. So it's a little yucky. Oops. So for 4,000, which is your AP mode, which everybody clear about AP and client modes? AP is the sensor has its own Wi-Fi and you can just log on to it. So single use, right? Client means I have a router which is now connected via Ethernet to the internet. That's why I can talk to you and I can move this because I'm on a client mode. And how to set that up is here, remember, the BLE configurator, and you can just connect to the, did I do it too fast? It's in oops, support BLE configurator, right? And then Bluetooth configurator and connect to music device. And then it's not going to show up because you have to be in a client, a BLE mode, Bluetooth mode, which is to push the M button and the power button at the same time. So when you do that, this is going to turn what's purple right now is going to turn green. There you go. Now it's in Bluetooth mode, and you see it's I'm already paired. So you pair it and your configuration will come through. I should not show my password. But anyway, so yeah, so that's how I did it, right? So this one is configured to be 4,001, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so this is 4,000 and the other one is the 4,000, right? Yeah. So both are working independently. Oops. Right. And this one is first track, second track, right? So that's it. Okay, well, we're at time. Any final comments, suggestions, anything?
Marie, yeah, I think I'm right in saying that for any of these Ableton audio effects that you were talking about, that it would save the settings for you when you close your set. But I think you can also click on the little disk icon. You can save, you can save it as a separate instance of the object, so you can collect a bunch of them and ready to go. So if you set up one situation, you should be able to just really easily just save that as a separate object. I think I'm right in saying that other Ableton users. Yeah, but that's what I've done. That's what I've done with other audio effects. Is you save them and give them a name, and that makes it easier to do.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't put that in there because I didn't know what to do. But it's in my set. So here they are. Oh, these are the JS files that's in there, which you're not seeing anything anyway. JS files are there. Yeah, I don't think there's any externals except for the JS files. So that's the AMXD, which is this, right? So maybe I did not save those. Yeah, I'm so sorry. If Sivan, if these don't show up, just stick it in because I uploaded already. Yeah, and these are useful for anything, not the music related stuff. Okay, you can use it for building your own Max for Live patches. But I just put it so that you can use it. All right. Okay. Here we go again. We're gonna do this more and more, I think, because I get to learn to do things. Hey, Blake and Nolan, thanks so much. So great. Yeah, you guys are, we're all connected to community here, so thank you. All right. Nothing else? Then